Hi, Simple IoT now has support for MQTT. So this may be the simplest way to get data from your MQTT device into Grafana to view it. So I'm going to show you a demo how to set that up and do it. So let's go to the docs first. And we'll go down to the MQTT client. So this just gives you a little background on it. And the way you do it is you set the MQTT port up before you start Simple IoT. This can be an environment variable or a command line. Then once that's done, there's a number of ways you can configure it, but we're going to start with the simplest setup where we automatically create nodes based on a topic description. So this is a MQTT topic schema. So we're going to configure it like this. And then when a message comes in with this topic, it's automatically going to create a site tag, a gateway tag, and a device tag. And then this tank level gets converted into a metric or a value, a measurement. So let's go through an example. First, let's create an MQTT node. And we're going to use the same setup we used in our last video where we have a downstream and an upstream node instance. We're going to send the data to the downstream. Now we could add an MQTT node through the UI like this, but we're going to use the provisioning system where we just copy the data right from the example documentation. So what this is going to do is going to pipe this little YAML segment. And if we go back into here, we'll see that we now have an MQTT node, and we have our topic schema already set up. So what's going to happen once we start sending data, MQTT data, to this instance, it's automatically going to create nodes underneath this based on the data it receives. So let's grab an example. And let's go ahead and pipe that data in. And now if we go back over to our view, we'll see we now have a plant 7, a gateway, and a device with a tank level value. And we sent this data to the downstream, but if we go to the upstream, we'll see the same data is already there. So you can use Simple IoT to synchronize MQTT data, or you can send MQTT data right over the network too. So either way works. So let's run a few more examples. Let's send this one. And you can send multiple measurements in one message as JSON data. Send that. And then let's also send one that has a very deep topic. And what's going to happen is we're just going to combine, we'll parse out field tags up until the device, but then the rest of them are just going to be grouped into the key. So we'll do that one as well. Okay, so now let's go graph this data. And actually, if we look in here, we'll see a few more devices, the HMI, the press, and the pump. These were all automatically created. You also notice that each level, we automatically create keys or tags, and then these tags are what get populated in the Victoria Metrics time series database so that we can easily graph the data. Okay, let's create a dashboard. Now, one thing, Claude is really good at creating these dashboards, but I hardly ever do this manually anymore, but I'm just going to run through this manually just to kind of show you what the process is. data. Let's add a panel. Let's pull data from our Victoria metrics database. And select a metric, point value. I'm going to graph all the node types that have MQTT device data in them. Let's go for the last 5 minutes. Okay, so we see all of our data is coming in. And notice it's automatically populating it with all the tags. So we have the device, the description, the key, and so on. So this is all very nice, but what if we want this legend to look a little nicer? So in this case, we're going to do a custom legend. And let's do node.tag.site. See what that looks like. Okay, good. We've got our plant. And then let's add node.tag.gateway. Okay, let's add .tag.device. Okay, so this gives us almost everything. So for devices that have multiple points, we want to add one more thing, and that's the actual tag value. I'm sorry, that's key, not tag. Okay, so now we can actually see the values that get displayed. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that. Go back to the dashboard. And then if we want to just send some more data, we can do that. Let's send this as 1200 RPM. Set the refresh here to be 5 seconds. And then in a few seconds, we should see that new data coming in. Yep, here it is. 1200 RPM. So this is just a little demo of how easy it is to get MQTT data from your device into Grafana. We can do more advanced things. In this dashboard, we have a table where we actually list out the latest values from all of our devices. And this topic schema is flexible. You can make it anything you want. And as long as you go back in here and just define what this could be, farm, building, you know, something else if you're dealing with agriculture or whatever. So this is a start. I think it's useful. There's a lot of other ideas we have, but I think this proves that we can pull data in very easily from MQTT devices and get it to Grafana where we can visualize it. Let me know what you think. Thanks.